Hello and a very good afternoon. You're watching Verdict 2016 on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are today's Verdict headlines. Nearly 80% polling registered in West Bengal in second phase of polling for 56 seats. Polling largely peaceful, says Election Commission. Campaigning picks up pace for phase 3. BJP accuses Bengal CEO of acting in partisan manner, seeks his removal from the Election Commission. AIADMK says it will not have any truck with AINRC in Puducherry, puts a lid on all speculations. Repolling in one booth in Kokrajhar in Assam conducted peacefully. 88.15% turnout registered. Well, let's begin with the bulletin with the news from West Bengal. Well, the second phase of polling for 56 constituencies in West Bengal concluded on Sunday evening. The voter turnout was close to 80%. Barring sporadic incidents, the voting was largely peaceful. Let's take a look at how West Bengal voted in the second phase.
Nearly 80% voting recorded in the second phase of polls in 56 constituencies, mostly in the northern part of West Bengal.
Up till 6 p.m., the polling time was fixed in 49 number of constituencies, and we were informed that the polling went on beyond 6 p.m. in some of the polling stations, and where the tokens or slips have been issued.
The Election Commission said that polling was by and large peaceful, barring a few clashes between workers of rival political parties. The EC said the issues largely were related to EVM malfunctioning.
Polling process by and large was peaceful. Today, there were few incidents of clashes near the polling stations were reported. Immediate and prompt action was taken by the police force, which was deployed there in big number.
वोट देने से तो बहुत सारे इश्यूज तो बढ़ना चाहिए, जो जॉब के क्राइटेरिया है वो सब बढ़ना चाहिए. अगर कॉलेज खत्म करके हम जॉब की तरफ जाए तो जॉब मिल जाए, ज्यादा घूमना नहीं पड़े, ये सब तो चाहिए हम सब लोगों को ना. और वुमेन सिक्योरिटी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है.
In the run-up to the second phase of polling, authorities executed 15,623 non-bailable warrants to keep troublemakers under check. Similarly, over 5,000 people were kept under watch to ensure they did not influence voters.
Number of candidates in fray in these 56 constituencies are 383. 383 number of candidates were in fray, of which 350 are male candidates, and female candidates number is 33.
The voting percentage, however, did not match up to previous two elections in the 56 constituencies.
In 2011 assembly elections, the poll percentage for these 56 constituencies, final poll percentage after reconciliation, was 86.51%. In 2014, the final reconciled figure, final voter turnout in parliament election in these 56 constituencies was 82.70.
62 constituencies will go to polls in the third phase of elections to be held on April 21st. With inputs from Pranav Goswami, Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, our correspondent Pranav Goswami joins us on the phone line right now from West Bengal. Well, Pranav, how did West Bengal vote in the second phase yesterday?
So we saw a very high voter turnout again, and it was more than 80%. But this round was very crucial also. Overall, it was very peaceful, and we know that in previous round, Election Commission was criticized because the entire polling process, the opposition parties were raising questions that ruling parties trying to influence the entire polling process. This round also, Election Commission had done extra security arrangements, and we know that in Birbhum, the controversial leader of Trinamool Congress, Mandal, he was house arrest, but it was overall very peaceful, except few incidents of clashes between political party workers, especially between TMC and in Birbhum, TMC and BJP workers had some incidents of clashes, and in Malda also we saw where TMC and CPM workers also had some small clashes. But overall it was a very peaceful polling round.
And you know, even as we speak right now, the preparations for phase 3 have already begun, and political parties are going all out to try and ensure that they get the voters on their side. But talking about yesterday's polling as such, you know, what were the main issues really as far as the second phase of polling was concerned?
See, there are local issues as well as issues which are relevant for the entire state. We know that in Malda, that in January, that some communal violence incidents took place. So in that Malda district, people are wanting peace. They want harmony. But if you talk about Darjeeling district, then we know that it has been a very long pending demand that the people of Darjeeling are demanding for a separate state. In this region, the Gorkhaland issue is the most important and major issue. And in other districts also, there are issues related to development, lack of infrastructure, and the job, unemployment, and there are other issues also. But if you talk about the major issues for this state, the corruption is the biggest issue which has emerged during this election in West Bengal.
All right, Pranay Goswami, thank you so much for joining us there with all those details and bringing us up to date with the latest. Joining me for a chat right now in the studio as well is Mahua Chatterjee of the Times of India. Mahua, thank you for joining me on the program. Let's talk about West Bengal now. Second phase of elections, almost 80% voter turnout. In the first phase also, we saw extremely high voter turnout. So, I mean, that was expected because West Bengal has always been voting in a yes. Usually that's the trend. But, you know, who stands to lose and who stands to gain in West Bengal, especially in the second phase? And let's talk about the third phase also.
See, there are a lot of new formulations in this election, which has made this election very interesting. So, you know, to begin with, yesterday was actually the third phase of polling, technically.
Technically, yes.
But somehow we are, again, going by the technicality that Election Commission has announced, we are considering it as a second phase of polling. Why, I fail to understand. Anyway, so to begin with that, the point is that, you know, your reporter just said yesterday's polling was peaceful, when actually the real second phase was not seen as a peaceful phase of polling, which means that when there is, I mean, when the ruling party in the majority clashes with the opposition, the clear signal is that somewhere the ruling party is not very comfortable of sailing through. I'm not saying making it, but sailing through, which is why they are ensuring that there are no hitches in its way of getting back to the seats by creating a violent situation, which the main fallout of which is less people go out for voting. Here, that has not happened. Less people have not gone out for voting, but still, you know, it is about keeping the, the known opposition supporters out. And we have seen stories in the newspapers and television channels where, these are typical tactics which used to happen in the grand old days of
the left.
When left, the middle phase of the left 34-year left rule, when they also got so arrogant for being in power that they didn't consider any opposition space.
So are you saying then that, as many of the opinion polls have been saying that Mamata Banerjee is going to win comfortably and Mamata Banerjee is going to get 180, 190 seats. So it's going to be far closer than that really on the ground?
No, I'm not going to predict on seats because I really don't know. I was there in West Bengal for 1.5 months during the last election when Mamata Banerjee defeated the Left Front in a historic victory and came to office, and that election was about the writing on the wall. You didn't need poll pundits to tell you that the left was
On its way out.
sliding down, on its way out, and Mamata was surely coming to office as chief minister. So, but that is not the case this time.
So you're saying, no, so my point being, are you saying that it's going to be a two-horse close race this time?
It is going to be, according to me, the signs are of a close race this time. The close race can even end up as Mamata having a fairly good enough majority which might see her back in the chair. But the fight in seat to seat is not going to be a giveaway for anybody.
Indeed.
Yes, and that is very, very clear. And I will not be surprised if the margins are very, very close.
Margins are very, very close. Okay, stay with us, Mahua. I'm going to take your reaction on something else that we're tracking here as well. But first, now let's take a look at a few more stories from West Bengal. The BJP has accused the Chief Election Officer of West Bengal of acting in a partisan manner. They have sought his removal by the Election Commission. A four-member BJP delegation comprising Union Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, Member of Parliament Bhupendra Yadav, Party National Secretary Srikant Sharma and Om Phatak met the election commissioners on Sunday in Delhi and submitted a memorandum in this regard. They also made a couple of other demands. The party has accused the TMC of gross and audacious violation of constitutional provisions, electoral laws and directions of the Election Commission.
केंद्रीय चुनाव आयोग ने पिछले दिनों हमारे दिए गए ज्ञापन पर कुछ कदम उठाए हैं, लेकिन आज हमने विशेष रूप से मांग करी है कि पश्चिम बंगाल के जो राज्य के जो चुनाव आयुक्त हैं, वहां के जो राज्य सरकार के जो चुनाव आयुक्त हैं, उनको बदला जाए। हमने ये भी मांग करी है कि वीरभूमि में जो 9 विधानसभाएं हैं, उनका पुनर्निर्वाचन किया जाए। और जिस प्रकार से मीडिया में तथ्य आए हैं कि केंद्रीय चुनाव आयोग के दिशा निर्देश के बावजूद भी जो लोग हाउस अरेस्ट किए गए थे, वो लोग घूमते हुए दिखाई दिए हैं। उन सभी विषयों पर केंद्रीय चुनाव आयोग सख्ती से कार्रवाई करे।
Going back to Mahua. Now, Mahua, I mean, this is another aspect that we've seen, isn't it? I mean,
Very interesting.
Very interesting. And we've seen the commissioner of Kolkata also being transferred.
Commissioner.
And, yes, the police commissioner, and then a few other officials also have moved out. We've seen a lot of that happening in Bengal this time.
This is the most intriguing factor this time that is in play in West Bengal for the elections this time. And why I find it intriguing is somewhere I'm given to believe that these are being done for a huge public perception to be created. Because the alternative public perception that there is on the ground is that somewhere the BJP, which is seen as a non-player in the state really, I mean, in terms of real politics, is somewhere aligned to the ruling Trinamool Congress. And the opposition parties, I mean, the combined strength of left and Congress in the state are talking about this every day and every given moment. But I am saying that they are, while they may be making larger than life allegations, the allegations are also there from the people and somewhere the perception is there. So it is, I mean, it's a question mark right now, but it seems that sometimes this overdo of, with every phase, you know, election commission trying to do this, getting people transferred out, is looking like the center is creating a pressure on the Mamata Banerjee.
Yes.
But these pressures are not going to work anywhere. You know, voting is not going to depend on whether the police commissioner is being removed from Calcutta. Because people have already, by now, elections are halfway through. People have already decided who they're going to vote for. So unless there are riots on the streets of Calcutta, there's going to be polling.
Yes.
And till now, you've seen that the average level of polling has been 80%.
Yes.
it can only go down by 5% at best.
The mines are already made. Nothing that's going to
Mines
happen
are
now on the
already
ground
made.
is going to
Mines are
really
already
make
made.
that drastic
But
an impact.
somewhere the center, the ruling BJP at the center is probably trying. I'm just posing a, I'm just speaking aloud, posing a question to myself probably, and to share the thought with the audiences, that is it that, because the Trinamool and the BJP is seen as being somewhere aligned to the Trinamool, that they are trying to create an opposite impact by using the election commission to be seen as strict disciplinarians who are acting on the
Indeed.
ruling party and the government in the state.
Talking about BJP,
Somewhere-
realistically speaking, what are the chances really of the BJP? Can they at least come up as a strong third player?
Look, on the ground, I mean, what the central leadership of the BJP knows that they are not going to gain hugely in West Bengal. In that situation, the only other options in West Bengal, the three parties there are Trinamool Congress, Congress and the left. So the left and the Congress can never on any occasion, except for some legislations which may have common space, are going to get any support for BJP. So the only, if you don't, the natural logic is, if you don't have any, if you don't have your own strength in any state, then you should have a strong ally.
Yes.
And that alliance, Mamata Banerjee can't be an open ally with the BJP simply because of, we all know the Muslim factor in West Bengal, which doesn't gel with the BJP's flavor.
Agenda. Yes.
Right. So she can never be an open ally, but she can always say that in the interest of the state, now that BJP is in power at the center, we are in good terms with the central government,
All right.
which is also a logical thing to do. So somewhere there is a there is a need for each other.
Yes. Okay. So we'll have to leave it at that, Mahua. Thank you so much for joining us on the program and putting things into perspective for us. Well, moving on now. The war of words between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee continues. During a rally in Krishnanagar on Sunday, Modi said by attacking the Election Commission, the TMC has conceded defeat. The TMC has replied to the EC's notice through the Chief Secretary. The Prime Minister had questioned the reply by the Chief Secretary, saying that the EC has addressed the notice to her as Chief of TMC and not Chief Minister. The TMC retorted, saying that the Prime Minister got his facts wrong.
ममता जी और उनके दल ने पराजय स्वीकार कर लिया है और इसलिए अब वो राजनीतिक दलों से लड़ाई नहीं लड़ रही है, वे अब इलेक्शन कमीशन से लड़ाई लड़ रही है। अरे दीदी, ये इलेक्शन कमीशन एक स्वतंत्र संस्था है। पूरे विश्व में भारत के इलेक्शन कमीशन की एक प्रतिष्ठा है और जैसे खेल में हर खिलाड़ी एम्पायर का सम्मान करता है, एम्पायर का आदर करता है, चुनाव के मैदान में भी हम सभी राजनीतिक दलों का दायित्व बनता है, सभी उम्मीदवारों का दायित्व बनता है कि हम इलेक्शन कमीशन का आदर करें।
हमारा सरकार कितना तक काम कर पाया, कितना तक काम नहीं कर पाया, इसका बारे में चर्चा हो सकता है, इसमें मेरे को कोई एतराज नहीं है। लेकिन आज कौन बात पे चर्चा हो रहा है? हमारा सरकार क्या काम किया है? ये बात कहने के लिए अपोजिशन पार्टी तैयार नहीं है, सीपीएम तैयार नहीं है, कांग्रेस तैयार नहीं है, बीजेपी तैयार नहीं है। खाली ममता को गाली देना उसका एक ही काम है, इसको चुनाव कैंपेन बोला नहीं जाता है।
Meanwhile, the Election Commission will examine the CD of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's election speech in West Bengal, where he criticized Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee for violating the Model Code of Conduct. Modi is, in his speech in Krishnanagar, criticized Banerjee, saying she violated the Model Code of Conduct as the Chief Secretary replied to show cause a notice issued to her by the Election Commission. Modi termed it a misuse of government machinery. The EC has said it will see what can be done about it. Well, Trinamool Congress chief and West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has said that she would have given a thought to choosing her party's candidate list for the elections had the Narda sting operation come out earlier. She said that it is election time and that is the reason why the videos are being telecast. In a recent sting operation by news portal Narda, several Trinamool Congress MPs and bigwigs, including state ministers, were shown purportedly accepting bribes from a fictitious company. The TMC had dismissed the videos as doctored and part of a smear campaign by its political rivals. The BJP, the left and Trinamool Congress have been attacking the TMC over the sting operation. Well, West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee has filed her response to an Election Commission notice which has said she prima facie violated the Model Code by announcing creation of a new district in the poll-bound state. PTI is quoting sources in the commission saying that the Trinamool Congress leader responded to the show cause on Saturday. While refusing to go into the details, they said that the issue is under the consideration of the poll watchdog and a decision will be taken by Tuesday. In an unusual move, Chief Election Commissioner Naseem Zaidi said that he had himself announced in Kolkata earlier this week that Banerjee has been served with a show cause notice. The Chief Minister had responded at an election rally by saying that on the first day of the Bengali New Year, the EC has sent me a show cause notice over things I had said. I will say it again. I will say it 1,000 times. The Commission has already shunted out Kolkata Police Commissioner Rajiv Kumar for allegations of bias towards the ruling party. Well, it's time for a short break now, but we'll be back with news from the other poll-bound states. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Chinese media write in saying through this joint patrolling exercise, the US is trying to create a mini NATO for this region.
From India's point of view, we have said that no plan for joint patrolling is under consideration.
US Defense Secretary has made it very clear in his recent speech what they are doing with India as part of the larger strategy towards China.
It all depends on the government's policy as to which ways the geopolitics is driving the foreign policy will actually dictate the defense cooperation between two countries.
Watch experts debate on India-US logistics support agreement in India's world on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Let's get your news from Assam now. A repolling at one polling booth in Kokrajhar of Assam was conducted peacefully with 88.15% of the voters exercising their franchise on Sunday. Repolling was necessitated in Gosaigaon constituency as the EVM malfunctioned during the second phase of polling on April 11th. Election officials said that repolling was completed peacefully and 88.15% voting was recorded. While 90.05% males casted their votes, female voting percentage stood at 86.05%. The overall poll percentage of Assam Assembly polls, which was held in two phases, stood at 84.72%. Moving on to news from Tamil Nadu now. Rajya Sabha Television's Akhilesh Suman spoke to leader of the People Welfare Front, Vaiko, to understand the issues being raised by the new front and its future in the election. Let's listen to what he had to say.
The firebrand leader of Tamil Nadu and chief of NDMK is with us. Mr. Vaiko, why you didn't align with DMK?
The DMK is the most corrupt party. If you make a comparison between the two, ADMK will win the race in corruption. And DMK will come second. Both the parties have destroyed the state through corruption, through liquor, and DMK is famous for land grabbing. Therefore, we decided to fight both the parties to see a new change after 50 years. Usayas in Tamil Nadu, we are going to achieve it
But what is the agenda? What is the new agenda that you are trying to project? Both AIDMK and DMK represented the Dravidian movement. You have joined hand with the parties who didn't represent the Dravidian movement. What is the agenda now?
These two parties have destroyed the state. Our agenda to first of all enact Lok Ayukt and put them in the dock. Already there are two swords are hanging like Damocles sword on the head of the leadership of AIDMK and the head of the leadership of DMK. One is about the disproportionate wealth case, the other is the 2G spectrum case. Now, we will confiscate the properties they gained through corruption.
But if you fall seats from the majority, then what will you do? Will you align with either DMK or AIDMK?
We will never align either with the DMK or with ADMK, and I am fully confident that scenario will not come. We will win hands down.
Fishermen are a big chunk in Tamil Nadu.
That's a good question.
And they are facing many problems here. So do you have any solution to offer to them in this election time?
You see, the solution, the Indian government, Indian Navy should give a stern warning. They should not allow them to come and attack our fishermen. In the international boundaries also, the area, they are getting attacked because the Indian government, the previous government, this government, is hobnobbing with the Sri Lankan government and they are in connivance with the Sri Lankan government. Once we form the government, we will take a very strong decision and we will pressurize the union government to protect our own citizens. We will be very firm on that.
Thank you, Mr. Waiko. Thank you so much for talking to Rajya Sabha. So this was Mr. Waiko, who has created another front. This is like a third front in Tamil Nadu, and time will tell that what this third front is going to do in this election. Akhilesh Suman for Rajya Sabha Television with camera person Om Prakash in Chennai.
Well, let's now get you some news from Puducherry. Well, seeking to put a lid on speculations, the AIADMK has said that there will be no revival of alliance with the AINRC for the Puducherry Assembly elections. AIADMK has said that the possibility of its alliance with AINRC was only on a baseless rumor. AIADMK last week declared candidates for all 30 constituencies and has already begun campaigning. BJP, which fought the 2014 Lok Sabha elections in alliance with AINRC, has also announced that it would go it alone in the coming polls, saying it cannot wait indefinitely for AINRC's decision. The party appears to have been left alone and has not yet announced its poll strategy. The Union Territory is poised for a multi-cornered contest on the 16th of May with DMK Congress combined and PWA also in the fray. Meanwhile, illegal cash of over 60 crore rupees has been confiscated from the 5 states facing assembly polls, with Tamil Nadu leading the list of seizures worth 24.55 crore rupees. Assam is second in the list with seizures of 12.33 crore rupees, followed by West Bengal, Kerala and Puducherry. The cash seizures were made by EC-appointed special flying squad, surveillance teams and by officials drawn from the Income Tax Department. Polling has concluded in Assam, while 2 phases of voting has been completed in West Bengal, with 4 more remaining. Elections in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and Puducherry will be held in a single phase on May 16th. To keep a tab on the huge cash expenditure during polls, EC has also asked the Central Board of Direct Taxes, the Financial Intelligence Unit and the Customs and Excise Department and State Police units to keep a strict vigil. That's it on this edition of Verdict 2016. See you again next time.